Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Christina, and today's video is going to be a little bit different. In case you didn't realize, it's been almost a year since I started posting consistently on this channel. So I feel like with any anniversary or milestone, it's good to take a look back and see if there are any lessons to be learned and reflect a little bit on the experience in this past year since I decided to create this channel and post on this channel. Before I continue, there are two disclaimers that I want to make. The first one is that I am by no means an expert on how to start or grow a travel channel. So I don't want you to think that I'm that vain, because I realize I'm far from being an expert. But at the same time, I feel like being a beginner, if you want to start a channel, you probably can relate more to this experience, and some of my experiences will be your experiences. The second one would be that I am not trying to discourage anybody from doing this. I think it's been a wonderful experience. Some things were harder than I thought they would be, but nonetheless, I really enjoyed creating content, travel content. So I am not trying to persuade anybody into thinking that's not the case. That being said, if you're like me and you like to travel and you probably watch a lot of travel channels on YouTube or other social media, you might have sat one day and watched a video and thought, I wish I had their life. That's definitely what I thought when I was watching a cruise video of cruising with Ben and David. And I was thinking, I have these trips coming up, and yeah, I understand that getting to that level of success will take a long time. However, since I have the plans, might as well record my experience, because why not? What's the difference, right? So I started planning. I looked into, what equipment I might need. I didn't go overboard from the beginning, but I did start buying, SD cards and spare batteries and a camera and stabilizers and whatnot. So the first difference I noticed is when I started packing, because I've been traveling for a while, at least for air travel. And for my carry-on luggage, I had everything down to a science. I knew exactly what goes in, and it would fit perfectly under the seat in front of me with my purse inside. Now, once I started putting all the equipment that I just mentioned, although it was not a lot, that and adding a laptop that I was planning to maybe use for editing while I was gone, although I had no idea how to edit at the time, and all my science and all my method of packing had to go out the window, and I had to make adjustments because my said backpack was looking like it's about to explode. And not to mention, it added a few pounds to the whole thing. So you think it's not a big deal, but once you have to drag that through airplanes and cabs and potentially on a cruise ship, from the time you get on the ship and you actually get into your cabin, you can feel the difference. So, okay. Well, you may say, it makes sense, you have to make adjustments, but then you get to your destination, and most people will get to their hotel and they will relax. Well, if you watched videos of other folks that have more established channels, you'll probably want to do a room tour. So you're not relaxing, you're trying to take a video of your room before you make a mess and start unpacking. And that's that. Or if you're on a cruise, it might take you quite a bit of time, and then you finally get to your cabin and you're rushing to do a room tour because you are trying to get to the sail away party. And that's going to be another fun episode, because you have to go and try to capture the party from multiple angles, maybe from multiple decks. So that's another part that you would not normally do. You probably go sit in one place or stand in one place and watch the whole party or dance or enjoy it, but that's not the case if you're trying to record it and use that footage in your video. And it will just continue because almost every person these days will take a photo of their food. But when you want to create content and you also want to post to other social media networks, not just YouTube, you will take photos, vertical, horizontal, and then also horizontal, vertical videos of your food, every single plate. You think it's not a lot, but it adds up. You get to a point where you feel like all you're doing is taking video of your food. And it becomes a little bit annoying. And also, when most people will relax, especially on a cruise, you have a day at sea, you can't really relax because that's probably your time to do a ship tour and maybe wake up early to capture those videos before most people are up. Or if it's a port day, you might have to wake up earlier if you want to do a little bit of vlogging before. And it all adds up. It all adds up. And by the end of the week or whatever, how long that trip takes, you will be exhausted. I didn't realize how bad that would get. And yes, you know, you think, okay, well, I had a great time. Yes, it might be a little bit exhausting. Maybe I didn't really get the chance to relax and party like I used to. I don't really party that much to begin with, and I don't drink that much, but especially if I know I have to record something, I will stay away from alcohol because I want to have a clear mind and I want to have get a good quality video. And then, you know, you're thinking, well, I'm done with this trip, so I have my video, most of the work is done. But you'll be so wrong, because unless you're a magnificent videographer and you can just take whatever you recorded and you are very comfortable speaking, you know, in the moment, chances are you have to do a lot of editing. And my first thought when I came back from my first trip where I recorded footage for content was, okay, I need to edit this video. And then my second thought would be like, how do you edit a video? I had no idea. I mean, I have heard of software and tools people use, but how do you do that? I don't know. So I had to learn all of that. And it would take me pretty much in the beginning, every hour after work and every hour in the weekend, all I was doing is learning and editing. And it was quite the learning curve, because there are so many things, you know, later on you learn and you're thinking, oh, why didn't I know this? Or why didn't I do this from the beginning? But it's a learning curve unless you work in that field somehow and you knew how to use an editing software. It will be a learning curve, and it might be steeper for some than for others. And also, a lot of people don't realize that in a video, like an hour video vlog, sometimes you can have 150, 200 separate little clips, and each one of them has to have the volume adjusted. You have to decide if you want to use that sound, or if you want to add music or voiceover or anything like that. So it takes a lot longer than you would think if you never did this before. And I also want to talk about traveling with other people. When you travel by yourself, yes, you have some issues and some constraints, but at least you are deciding what your schedule is going to be like. And I'm not saying that if you travel with friends or family, that's not the case. However, in order to be respectful towards your travel companions, especially if they don't want to be part of your videos and your content, you have to keep in mind that it's their vacation. They're not there for content. They want to relax. So you having a camera in their face 24/7 is going to be annoying as it is. So I really suggest that you communicate with people before you go. And if you think that you will not be able to create content without maybe ruining a friendship or having some issues, maybe travel by yourself, or go enjoy vacation with your friend and don't think about recording, because no matter how successful your channel might become or anything like that. Ruining friendships, ruining family relationships is not worth it. So please keep that in mind and be mindful of anyone else, and including people that they might just be there, try not to be too much in their face. Most people will not say anything, but think about it when you were not creating content. If you would have liked somebody to just record you, because I think a lot of people would prefer not to be recorded and put on somebody's YouTube video, especially if you record very close to them. Another part of this whole experience is minding your expenses. It's very easy to look at larger creators and say, oh, well, they have this camera and the other camera. And the reality is, I did buy some cameras, nothing fancy or expensive, but most of my videos, including this one, were recorded with my phone, which at this point is 2 years old. So I feel like there's a decent quality in most of the smartphones these days. So don't go overboard. In time, if your channel grows and if you start making money out of the channel, it makes more sense to invest more in the channel. But be mindful. Also be mindful of the trips you're taking. I know it's very tempting, especially if you have a little bit of extra income. It's tempting to say, oh, I'll book another trip. I'll do this, I'll do that. Try to travel as much as you normally would, because it adds up. And if you can afford it, take all the trips you want to take. But what I'm saying is be mindful, because when you look at the end of the year, how much you spend on little things, a battery here, a charger there, whatever it is, it adds up. And remember, in the beginning, you're not making any money. I mean, I've been doing this for a year, and I know maybe I'm not the most, I didn't have most people's experience, but I can guarantee you most people will not make any money in the first year. There are some, obviously, and it doesn't mean that you will not be able to make money the first year. But if you look at my subscribers count, I have less than 100 subscribers at this point, and it's been a year. Now, I would recommend that maybe you do a little bit more self-promoting than I did. I think that is something that I need to concentrate more on. But also you have to, like I said, you have to be mindful of the time that you spend, because you're going to spend time editing. But if you have also a full-time job, if you have family responsibilities, it makes no sense to put the channel ahead of those responsibilities. I really enjoy my career. I hope to continue to be in my career for a long time. So for me, because I don't have any children, that's a priority. So I will edit whenever I have time, while still doing what I consider a quality work, right? So if you have been watching my channel for a while, you probably noticed that in the beginning I used to post once a week, and I don't do that anymore because I literally cannot do that. It takes way too long to do a video in 1 week, and like I said, I want to make sure that I have time to get rest. I want to make sure that I have time to dedicate to my job, and then there are also, people around us, friends, family. So be mindful of all of that, and try to budget your money and your expenses and your time as well. And one more thing I would really like to say is, no matter how well prepared you are, no matter how good of a job you think you're doing, you have to be prepared to fail. And that doesn't mean fail as in, okay, I'm done with this channel, I'm not gonna post anymore. It could be failure as small as your phone hitting up and stop recording in the middle of maybe a boat ride or somewhere where you really wanted to capture that moment and there's no redo. It's good to have a backup camera when stuff like that happens, but you could miss some important moments, and that's okay. Or you could create a video, be so proud of it, and think, oh my god, this is gonna go viral. It's so beautiful. I want to cry when I look at these videos, these images. Yeah, but you don't realize there are probably 1,000 people that created videos of the same location. Now, if it's more of a not so usual location, you might not have that much competition, but you might not have that much interest in the video either. If somebody's an established content creator, I think some people will watch them even if they take a camping trip to their backyard. But until you get your tribe, if you will, you get your followers, you get the people that really enjoy your content and want to see what else you're doing and want to follow you in your adventures, it's okay. You will not get the same number of views. And sometimes you will post something and you will be shocked that a video that maybe was not the video you believe the most professional, or the one that you're most proud of, will have more views than you can imagine. I mean, to me, it's still funny that the very first video, the very first vlog that I posted from NCL Joy, to this day has the higher number of views. I didn't have it from the beginning, so people are still watching it, but it's been a year, people are still watching it, and I think, at least from an editing perspective, it was probably the least professional video that I put out there because I had no idea what I was doing, right? So you never know, but just be prepared. Don't get alarmed, things like that happen. And I've seen creators that started probably around the same time as I did, and they have thousands of subscribers, so that could be you. So don't think that this is going to be the exact same experience, but I'm just saying, don't get upset. Realize that that's part of the process, and things, if you insist and if you persist in this endeavor and you give it enough time and effort, your channel will grow. How fast, I don't know. I don't think anybody can tell you that. So these are kind of like my thoughts and my observations from my first year as a travel content creator. So I would really like to hear if any of you are thinking about starting a channel, or if you just started a channel and maybe your experience was similar or different. But if you do want to start a channel, I wish you nothing but the best, and I hope your channel will grow way faster than mine. And I hope to be able to continue to create content for you guys. So I'll see you in the next one. Bye.